All right, in this Graziano article, and I applaud him for including some Jacksonville stuff in here. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
And Graziano does a good job, but now I'm going to not be friends with him here because places and things to watch is on his list of players and coaches and owners, and he gets the players and places and things to watch, like the kickoffs on here. Brazil, where they're going to play, right?
Yeah.
Las Vegas is on here, and New Orleans, and Jacksonville, Florida is on the list of 5 things in here. And he says, this looms as a big year for negotiations between the city and the Jags on a potential new stadium. There are plans, renderings, and the skeleton of an agreement, but to this point, nothing is done, which is very true. Yeah. When and if it does get done, it'll be a big relief to the local fans of a team that's already playing 2 games a season in London, has once, and whose owner has long been believed to want to own an NFL team across the pond.
Well, are they playing 2 games this up-and-coming season?
We don't know yet, but maybe.
Huh?
Home and away.
Huh? 2?
If they do.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done it once. Now, in
you.
fairness to even Graziano here, they did go for the 2 home games during the pandemic year that got wiped away.
Okay.
But I do believe the home and away London game doesn't factor into all that London conversation because it's only 1 home game.
Sure.
You know, it actually gives you a competitive advantage and keeps because you're not playing in Buffalo Stadium in December or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what the Jags. If I'm the Jags, I'm asking to do that again. I think it gives me an advantage.
I mean,
over that team.
They showed that they won 2 games in London, so that's the thing. But like, also, do players
Remember,
enjoy
Buffalo was
being
jet lagged?
No, for sure. But do players enjoy being away from their families for 2 weeks?
Fair enough.
I don't know.
But if you ask the players when they went 8-3, a lot of people would have said that London week was a big part of it for them because they turned things around. So I don't know. There's a lot going into that. But this is the problem. I mean, come on, man. Like, whose owner has long been believed to want to own an NFL team across the pond? Believed by who? Believed by you. Believed by the national media. Believed by some folks in London. Yet everything that why do we have to do this again? Everything that Shad Khan has done in Jacksonville indicates that he wants this team to be owned in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Outside of playing a game over there. And again,
which is
the misstep of the two. Well, listen, it is a big deal, but now everybody wants a piece of the international pie. Shad was actually ahead of a lot of teams. They all want a place over there now.
But is every team wants to play 1 game in London every single year?
I don't know if they want. I would say this. The teams probably don't.
Correct.
But I don't think the owners wouldn't mind.
Oh, yeah, it's more money for them.
So
logistically,
I don't think the teams want to.
Correct.
Absolutely. But you're seeing it all, Brazil and other places. But listen, that part's fine. But I just don't know how you can go from that to long been believed. The owner wants, like, come on, why are we still doing this? He's going to put, I'm not going to negotiate for the Jags and for whatever on the stadium. But we already know the vision and the stuff that they've shown and thrown out there for the city of Jacksonville. And now there's a $1 billion stadium. 3 sentences earlier, there's a skeleton agreement on this $1 billion stadium. But by the end of it is believed to want to own an NFL team across the pond. I don't get it, man. Like, can we stop with that? Can we stop? Here's the deal. Let's make a truce here. If this stadium deal doesn't get done, which, by the way, if it doesn't get done, like the Jags are going somewhere else, then you can have your London conversation back about Shad wanting to own a team in London or overseas. But until then, if he's going to put billions of dollars into the city of Jacksonville, can we believe him that he doesn't want the team in London? He's going to keep it in Jacksonville?
No, I mean, it's definitely lazy writing, but, like, look at what people have to go off of. Like, people don't live in, like, Dan Graziano doesn't live in Jacksonville. He doesn't know. All he sees is that the Jaguars play 2 games in London a year. He sees that the Jaguars were the first team to really implement going to London. He sees that. He sees Shad Khan owns a soccer team in London. He sees that. Like, this is just being on the outside of the bubble.
Get in the bubble then.
Well, okay, that's what journalism is, man.
Get in the bubble.
Just make sure.
Make a call.
Just make sure that we take Dan Graziano on this. I'm trying to go to war with Dan Graziano now with Brent Martineau.
I mean, I can't believe we still are here in 2024. That we're still writing sentences like that. Like again, if this deal doesn't get done, go back and write those sentences because then you might be right. They're out of Jacksonville.
Well,
if they don't get this stadium deal done at some point, you're right. they're going somewhere. I still don't think they're going to London, by the way, which is really how far off the London stuff is, in my opinion. I think you got a better chance to go to freaking San Antonio before you go to London. But just stop with it right now. Like, it doesn't make sense that in the same breath that we're watching Jacksonville, Florida build a renovated stadium of $1 billion+ that we're going to throw in the line about London.
Has it been approved? I mean, are we getting the stadium? Do we know this yet?
Well, in my opinion, the stadium deal is all but done. It's just a matter of how you present it and get it done. You know why? Because it has to get done.
Agreed. But once again, like, this is, and I'm not trying to defend Dan Graziano.
It sounds like you are.
Okay, well then I am, man. But once again, the guy doesn't live here. He has no idea what's going on. All he has to go off of is what he reads. So, yeah. I mean, am I mad that he said that? Sure. Not gonna let it ruin my day. I get it. Like, you're another media member who's just uninformed, who wants to throw at the low-hanging fruit. More power to you. I feel like Jacksonville's been the punching bag for a lot of that kind of talk just because it's so easy.
I will say this about the stadium deal. If you saw an article over the weekend, there's a couple of things that are interesting in that. And they maybe tap into a pension fund on the stadium.
Yeah.
Or at least there's conversation about an idea to do that. There's also some conversation that right now this is just about the stadium and not about the other parts around the stadium, which was at least initially presented altogether.
Yeah.
And one other thing of note is I thought this thing could get done, would get done, should get done by late April. So then owners' meetings in May would be the approval for ownership.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like that might push off to the summer if you read this article. So the timing, and somebody did tell me it has slowed. Like not the conversations, but the momentum just in terms of getting it done by April has definitely slowed down. It's moving slower, I think was the quote that I got. So we'll see where it ends up. Again, it's going to get done. If you listen to anything, like actually in that same article, basically the guy that's negotiating for the city, Weinstein, I think his name, he basically said, it's going to get done, is what he essentially says.
Yeah.
But they're just not at the finish line yet.